Carlene Sawyer, welcome to Cultural Charles Greenfield.
Hello, Charles. Thank you.
The Dranoff Two-Piano Foundation was started by Loretta Dranoff in 1986. What was her goal in terms of the two-piano literature, its artists, and composers?
Loretta was a two-piano artist. She really started the competition in memory of her husband, who was her partner and fellow artist, from the time that she was 16 and he was 19. And what the goal really was is, number one, to find the new rising stars of two-piano music and to give them a platform. So she wanted to make sure that the top composers, the Pulitzer Prize winners, the great award winners of the day, were composing contemporary music, contemporary classical music for two pianos.
Now, I recall very well that in the 1980s, the idea, the notion of two-piano music and its sidekick, four-hand piano, it was not that well received. In fact, it wasn't well received, but it's 30 years later, and there's been an evolution. Briefly, what's that evolution been, especially with your audience?
I'm not sure I would say that two-piano music was not well received. It just was not presented. Most concert halls did not have two pianos, and they didn't know where to get the other piano. So quite frankly, it was really, where are we going to get the instruments to have what is, by definition, this art form, two pianos?
Now, the competition is in its 30th year, and let's talk briefly about the next competition.
The finals will be in Miami in December of 2017. We'll be back in Miami Beach at the New World Center. The big thing, the star power, is really putting together the jury itself. And we're very pleased that we have several people that have already committed to being on the jury. The artistic director at the Boston Symphony Orchestra, Anthony Fogg, who's Australian, Anne-Marie McDermott, the great American pianist. And one of the things we want to do in this competition that's really quite hard to do is we want to make sure that women artists, women presenters, women composers are very prominently featured.
Tell us real briefly what the top prizes are worth. How do the winners parlay their success afterwards? Is there management advice from you and the organization, outreach?
This is the 30th anniversary. The top prize will be $30,000 this year. In addition to that, there'll be a $20,000 second prize and a $10,000 third prize. There'll also be a special prize for the competition commission, which will be a great woman composer, Taaffe Zwilich. So we are really thrilled that those things are in place. And when you're at the beginning of your career, having money in the bank gives you not only really food on the table and a roof over your head, but it gives you a little bit of artistic freedom to decide what your path, your career is going to be. Following that, we have now established tours for our artists. And then I think one of the top things that we've done for our artists is we've developed an outreach program here in South Florida, here in Miami, called Piano Slam.
There's music here. Don't you hear it in the air? There's music here.
Which began by taking our artists, whether they were from Tokyo, South Florida, or they were from Canada, France, taking them into the public schools and play. Now, Piano Slam has developed into the top creative writing program in the Miami-Dade Public County Schools, having 10,000 kids writing poetry about music in their lives, and then having the young people and the Dranoff artists and hip-hop artists and spoken word artists all performing at our great concert hall here at the Adrian Arch Center for the Performing Arts. So that has done a lot of things for our artists. Those kinds of collaborations, new projects, contemporary works, we have through Piano Slam given, and also through some of our concert programming, giving young artists the opportunities to do things that in conservatory they really didn't think about doing.
Start briefly and talk about Film Goes Classical 2.0.
Well, that goes back to what you just asked about. What are the opportunities for our artists to perform in collaboration and in exciting kinds of programs? We have partnered with the Coral Gables Art Cinema to perform classic film scores for two piano live. Excerpts from the scores of West Side Story, The Big Country by Jerome Moross, and also by American in Paris, because everybody wants to hear Gershwin and to see someone dance when they go to the movies. We are actually doing film representations and film clips and film images of those iconic moments in the film that made that music, what that music was composed for, and what made it iconic music today, live with two pianos and artists sitting right in front of you playing that music.
And that's January 10th. And then February 21st, it's two pianos for Latin lovers, Piazzolla, Lecuona, Hinastera.
It's a very exciting concert. Our artists, Ed and Anne Turgeon, toured Latin America looking for the great composers' works in two piano music. And they're going to bring a wonderful concert to the New World Center on Miami Beach on February 21st that's really going to showcase that music. Hinastera, Piazzolla, a little Lecuona for our Miami audience. And I think that that's going to be an audience of love and dance and really kind of the romance that goes around. Think about Latin lovers.
And you also have the Bacardi Choice. What is that about?
The Bacardi Choice, going back to what the Dranoff is all about, and that idea that musicians need an opportunity to be up on the stage and they need contemporary repertoire to be showcasing. We've been very fortunate to work with Bacardi USA, who has established an annual commission for a two-piano piece by an emerging Latin artist. This will be the premiere of the second Bacardi Choice, and the piece is called Migrant Voyages by Latin Grammy-nominated Manuel Valera. So it's a really exciting time showing the really core of the Latin American repertoire, things that we think of all the time with Lecuona and Piazzolla, and then adding to it this new music with a bit of a jazz side to it as well. You know, we are an international organization whose home is in South Florida, but I will tell you, all of our artists want to perform here in the United States. And this kind of concert and developing an artist around repertoire that's popular in the United States is really a great opportunity, I think, for everybody.
And March 22nd, it's back to the classical. In fact, it's called Classical Classics. The performance are who?
Duo D'accord. The Duo D'accord, Sebastian Euler and Lucia Huang, were gold medal winners in 2001, and they are magnificently beautiful and talented artists who are Taiwanese and German and live in Germany today. It's going to be at the Coral Gables Congregational Church, and that is really a lovely place, one of my favorite places for chamber music in Miami. And I think if people have a true level of what they believe is the core of classical music, they'll really love this concert.
Just remind us again, the January concert, the two pianists are?
The two pianists are Marcel and Elizabeth Bergman. They are Canadian and German. And really, when they're playing with the film, that's kind of being an ensemble. And though you watch movies in the dark, you should watch out for Marcel's feet, because I swear he dances every time he plays the piano.
Well, Carlene, I want to thank you so much for joining me today with Cultural Charles Greenfield.
Oh, Charles, thanks so much for doing this.